So I've been on Hidden Radiance to the Dawn for about 5 months now, and I've played in a lot of low-level tournaments during that span. We're a Division 7 team, so we play in tournaments like LSL, Minnow Cup, Lowing, tournaments like that. And we've had decent results. But during that span, the more I play in these tournaments, the more I realize just how much of a clusterfuck it is. So today, I want to talk about my opinions on all the problems I've seen in low-level tournaments. Let's first start with the fact that they're called low-level. That's not exactly true. If you play competitive Splatoon, you know that it's absolutely nothing like solo queue. You need to know positioning, callouts, matchups, team compositions, and that's just the basics. So brand new teams who may have never played a scrim before are now walking into these low-level tournaments, probably with the mindset that they will realistically lose, but are now getting absolutely beaten on by teams who are much more experienced. And while yes, most of these teams are technically low-level, and it's good for new teams to get a taste of what competitive Splatoon is about, does it have to be like this? It's like they signed up to try out for their local high school football team and then had to compete against college kids. I think there have to be tournaments for people who don't know what CDS stands for and who runs Rottweiler on their dualies. That way they actually get decently fair fights and don't feel crushed and possibly never enter a tournament again. Now, let's talk about the way low-level tournaments are run. Though some organizers do a very good job in running their tournaments, such as Inkling's Performance Labs, most are very unorganized and you will more likely than not see teams who are not supposed to be there. And this is a normal thing for teams and players who just have no business playing in these lower level tournaments to just be there. There has to be more research and background checks on participants to keep the integrity of the tournament. If not, then it's not really a low level tournament, is it? To me, it really feels like people just don't care enough about the integrity of the game and the tournament by letting competitors who are clearly not supposed to be there play. And finally, we can't talk about low levels problems without talking about mid-level, or rather, a lack of mid-level. There's almost nothing for mid-level players. While there have been some small efforts recently, particularly by the IPL by reinstating the SAC after they acquired them, it's far from what mid-level needs to be successful. It's gotten to the point where teams who should be going to mid-level throw games in low-level tournaments, particularly in Lowing, just so they won't get banned. This means low-level is not really low-level. It's more of a conglomeration of brand new players and pretty good players, and less players and teams are breaking the top level because they have nothing to help them improve in mid-level. It's a complete and total mess. So what do? First, we need to establish more consistent and high-quality mid-level tournaments. That way, we can start to get mid-level players out of lower-level tournaments. Like, there are so many low-level tournaments. You could play like 4 in a week if you were crazy enough. Next, we need to make an I'm A-rank and run Rottweiler on my dualies kind of level. Players who have never played Dream in their lives, have no idea how important armor is, and they main the red NZAP kind of tournament. Not a lot of them, but maybe like 1 or 2 of these a month. And finally, we need to reduce the skill gap in lower level tournaments and actually start keeping track of players and teams who are banned from certain tournaments so that it's far more fair for actual low level teams. And throughout all this, we need more experienced and skilled players to help with these types of things. If they want to see the competitive community grow, then they have to help it from the very bottom. I'm incredibly excited for what Splatoon 3 holds for our franchise and its competitive scene, and I'm sure a lot of you guys are too. So let's work together to help grow the game we all love to play. Special thanks to Felicia Skepidillions and Pika Dave 465 for helping me write this script. Skep is a quickly rising Splatoon competitive player and commentator, and Pika is a top level competitive Splatoon player who is known for his blob lover. I'll leave links to their channels in the description. Check the playlist on the right if you want to see more Kevin's Corners where I talk about my opinions on more Splatoon topics, and be sure to subscribe for more discussions like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.